Airbnb versus VRBO, which one is the better choice for hosts? You've finally reached the point where you are ready to rent your short-term property to guests. But which online booking platform should you register your business with? Airbnb versus VRBO, which is the better option for hosts? And what would happen if you advertised on both of them simultaneously? We will offer you an overview of all the significant distinctions between Airbnb and VRBO in this video that we are making for you. Watch this video all the way to the end to gain valuable insight on how to start an Airbnb business and to obtain useful tips on how to run it successfully. So, let's get started. Let's get right into it. VRBO versus Airbnb fees. Once you begin receiving reservations for your home, you will be required to pay commission fees. These costs will be the same regardless of the booking site you choose to advertise your property. The host service fee charged by online travel agencies, OTAs, like Airbnb and VRBO, is often expressed as a percentage of the total cost of the reservation. It is critical to thoroughly understand the fees that OTAs impose, since these fees must be included in your pricing strategy. Let's look at the differences and similarities between VRBO and Airbnb's host fees. VRBO fees. VRBO allows hosts to choose between two distinct listing models, pay-per-booking and subscription. If you choose the subscription plan, you will be required to pay an annual fee of $499. Pay-per-booking. If you choose pay-per-booking as your payment method, you will be responsible for paying commission fees on any bookings you get. VRBO host fees for properties that use the pay-per-booking model begin at 8% of the total booking charge. The 8% host fees are made up of a service charge of 5%, calculated from the total amount of the reservation, including additional charges like pet fees, and a payment processing charge of 3%, calculated from the total payment amount received from the guest, including extra fees, taxes, and security deposits. The total amount paid for the reservation might cause the owner fees charged by VRBO to fluctuate somewhat. When it comes to the VRBO listing charge, the general rule is that the smaller the percentage, the greater the total value of the reservation. VRBO travelers are subject to a booking charge of between 6 and 12% of the total cost of their reservation. Airbnb fees. There are two alternative pricing systems for using Airbnb. At this time, most hosts can choose which option they would want to apply to their listings. Option 1, the host service fee and the guest service fee are the two components that make up the split fee system. The host service fee, which ranges from 3% to 5% of the booking total, is paid by the host, which includes the nightly rate plus extra charges like the Airbnb cleaning fee. A guest service charge of up to 14.2% is added to each guest's bill. Option 2, on the other hand, the host-only price structure requires hosts to pay a commission of 14% to 16% to cover the service charge for the visitor. This commission covers the cost of the service. This makes the price more obvious and ensures that customers will not consider the guest service fee a surprise charge when they check out. In addition, it is more consistent with the business norms, as shown by the fact that other websites, such as Booking.com, do not charge guest service fees. VRBO versus Airbnb cancellation policy. Another thing that differentiates VRBO and Airbnb is that each offers a different set of cancellation rules. As a host, you will be directly impacted by the cancellation policy you decide to implement for your guests. For instance, opting for a more flexible cancellation policy will help you bring in more reservations and bring your occupancy rate up. On the other hand, you risk losing money if a visitor cancels their reservation at the very last minute, and no one else books your property for the days the guest vacates. Because of this, it is indispensable to educate yourself on the cancellation policies provided by the various channels and choose the one most suitable for your needs. There is a wide variety of cancellation policies available on both Airbnb and VRBO. VRBO, on the other hand, provides hosts with more stringent alternatives, such as a policy that does not permit refunds under any circumstances. VRBO cancellation policies. There are 5 distinct cancellation policies that hosts may choose from when listing their properties on VRBO. The different cancellation policies are: relaxed. Guests are entitled to a complete return if they cancel their reservation at least 14 days before their scheduled check-in date. If the visitor cancels their reservation at least 7 days in advance, they will get a return of 50% of their payment. Moderate. Guests are entitled to a full refund if they cancel their reservation at least 30 days before their scheduled check-in date. They are entitled to a return of 50% of their payment if they cancel at least 14 days in advance. This is the course of action that VRBO advises its guests to take. Firm. Guests will be entitled to a full refund if they cancel their reservation at least 60 days before their scheduled check-in date. They are entitled to a return of 50% of their payment if they cancel at least 30 days in advance. Strict. Strictly speaking, if a guest cancels their reservation at least 60 days before the commencement of their stay, they will be entitled to a full refund of their payment. No refund. Your visitor is not eligible to get a refund, regardless of the reason. Airbnb cancellation policies. There are 6 cancellation policies available to select from while using Airbnb. The different cancellation policies are: flexible. Your guest will get a full refund if they cancel their reservation at least 24 hours before their scheduled check-in time. Moderate. If guests cancel their reservation at least 5 days before their scheduled check-in, they will get a full refund. Strict. Strictly speaking, if guests cancel their reservation at least 14 days before check-in and within 48 hours of booking, they will get a full refund of the nightly charge. If guests cancel their reservation at least 7 days before their scheduled check-in, they will get a refund of 50% of the nightly charge. Long-term. Your guest will be entitled to a full refund if they cancel their reservation at least 28 days in advance, and within 48 hours of making the reservation. When a reservation is made on Airbnb for 28 nights or longer, Airbnb will automatically apply this cancellation policy. Super strict 30 days. If guests cancel their reservation more than 30 days before their scheduled check-in, they will get a refund of 50% of their payment. The Airbnb service charge that they paid will not be refunded to them. This cancellation policy is exclusive to software-connected hosts and is not accessible to hardware-connected hosts, i.e., those who list on Airbnb via a channel manager or other software. Super strict 60 days. If guests cancel their reservation more than 60 days before their scheduled check-in, they will get a refund for 50% of their payment. The Airbnb service charge that they paid will not be refunded to them. The software-connected hosts are the only ones who may take advantage of this cancellation policy. Airbnb versus VRBO audience. Another element that should be considered is the kind of customer each booking website is geared at serving. Although neither Airbnb nor VRBO is a specialized site that caters to a certain kind of traveler, the demographics of the people who use each site are distinct. Let's have a look. Airbnb audience. Since the company's inception, Airbnb has catered to the needs of young, independent travelers looking for cost-effective lodging solutions. It caters to customers interested in having genuine traveling experiences, primarily in metropolitan locations. As Airbnb has grown through the years, its clientele has also grown. It's no longer simply young people on a tight budget who want to live like a local during their vacations who use Airbnb to reserve their accommodations. Airbnb now attracts a considerably more varied and eclectic audience. For instance, Airbnb is already attracting business visitors interested in booking complete flats rather than hotel rooms for either short or extended visits. Additionally, the firm offers a premium selection under the brand name Airbnb Luxe that is geared toward guests with a higher level of sophistication. VRBO audience. Although a sizable portion of Airbnb's audience favors vacation rentals over hotels due to the lower cost, visitors who book via VRBO often do not consider price to be the key criterion when making their selections. Families and bigger groups of people traveling together find VRBO a helpful resource due to the extensive inventory of full houses the platform offers in major tourist areas. Travelers of a more mature and wealthy demographic interested in booking more conventional vacation rentals, such as cottages or cabins in more remote locations, are also among its target demographic. Property types offered by Airbnb and VRBO. There is a significant gap between the sorts of properties that can be listed on Airbnb and those that can be listed on VRBO. Various sorts of Airbnb properties. When Airbnb was conceived, one of its primary goals was to provide a platform through which individuals could rent out unused space in their homes to earn additional income. To this day, Airbnb is not only for professional property managers with several listings, but also for hosts who look at their vacation rental company as a side hustle, renting out rooms or vacation homes. Because of this, Airbnb gives hosts the ability to list one of 3 distinct types of properties. Guests get exclusive use of the whole establishment throughout their stay. In most cases, they consist of living space, a kitchen, a bathroom, and 1 or more bedrooms. Hosts can continue living on the property, for instance, moving to a different level of the same house. Still, they are strongly advised to disclose this information to potential guests in the property description. Guests are provided with a private room where they may sleep. Nevertheless, they may be required to share other home areas, such as the kitchen, bathroom, or living room, with the host or guests. Guests often stay in a room that is shared with 1 or more other people throughout their stay. Types of VRBO properties. VRBO hosts are not permitted to offer communal areas, unlike Airbnb hosts. It concentrates on whole vacation houses rather than apartments or condos, since most customers are families and large groups. VRBO is not the right listing platform for you if you want to rent out a room in your own house that is part of a common space. That includes a shared bathroom, kitchen, and living area. Regarding hosting, here's how to make the most of VRBO and Airbnb. After going through the primary distinctions that set Airbnb and VRBO apart, you should now understand which platform would be more suitable for your company. Nevertheless, it does not always have to be either/or. Even if they have 1 or a couple of listings, many hosts believe that it is in their best interest to post their accommodations on both Airbnb and VRBO, since doing so may bring in a lot of extra revenue. You can charge a higher rate for your listing when demand is higher because more people see what you have to offer. Airbnb and VRBO appeal to distinct traveler subsets and demographics, as we've established earlier in our comparison. A visitor looking for accommodations on Airbnb is looking for different accommodations on VRBO, and vice versa. Therefore, if you want to achieve the highest possible occupancy rate and maximize revenue, you should be featured on both channels. You may believe that multi-channel distribution of vacation rentals is difficult, time-consuming, or costly, but in reality, it is none of those things. A brief rundown of the steps involved is as follows. VRBO and Airbnb calendar sync. If you want to start promoting your property on both Airbnb and VRBO, the first choice you have is to sync the calendars of your channel accounts for each platform. It is crucial to make sure that your availability is constantly up to date on both channels, since, otherwise, you run the danger of receiving double bookings. A double booking happens when the same time is reserved for one of your rentals by more than one visitor via different booking channels. Example, Airbnb, VRBO. Dealing with this may be painful, and you may lose money due to cancellation costs. Connecting the calendars of your Airbnb and VRBO listings, on the other hand, will reduce the likelihood of you receiving a duplicate booking. You will need to convert the calendar from your Airbnb account into the ICL format and then import it into VRBO. After that, you must export the calendar from VRBO and import it into Airbnb. You will have successfully created a two-way connection in this manner, making it possible for your calendars to be updated whenever a booking is made. Even though this is a simple approach that only needs a little effort to implement, there are better options. Connections to ICL may take several hours to sync up completely. You may still get double bookings when the calendars are only partially synced up. So the question is, how do you get rid of that risk? Let's find out. Utilize a channel manager that is compatible with VRBO and Airbnb. Utilizing a channel manager is the most effective method for advertising on many channels without increasing the risk of receiving duplicate booking requests. Channel managers are software solutions that link directly with booking sites. This allows booking sites to rapidly update your calendars and availability across different channels. One example is IGMS, which offers direct API connections with both Airbnb and VRBO. After adding your Airbnb and VRBO accounts to IGMS, the software will allow you to combine all your calendars into one location and automatically keep them in sync. Because of this, customers will always receive the most accurate version of your availability, regardless of the channel they choose to do their search. In addition, a convenient multi-calendar displays all your reservations for you to see. If you enjoyed watching this video and would like to see more specific content on the Airbnb hosting business, then please submit your topic requests in the comments section below, and we will try to cover those topics in future videos. In addition, please help our channel grow so we can produce more exciting content in the future by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. That way, you will always be notified as we upload new videos. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon.